Your move, your move.
What's up guys, it's Rokta here and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. So for today, we are going to be showing the way of the ninja in the form of a ninja deck profile. This is the deck profile I think I did over a year ago now, and now it's time for the update with ways of potentially beating the meta, as will be discussed in the deck profile. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, make sure that you do leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below who is your favorite ninja. My favorite ninja is personally the green ninja. Let me know in the comments which one is yours. And without any further ado, let's get straight to this deck profile. So starting off this 40 card main deck, we have triple of Ninja Grandmaster Hanzo. He's essentially the main ninja of the deck, and the ninja you're going to want to be normal summoning and special summoning the most. So what does he do? When this card is normal summoned, you're going to be able to add a ninjutsu art card from your deck to your hand, and there's quite a few targets of this. So if you already have some in your hand, you can switch up what you're going to be grabbing. When this card is flipped or special summoned, you can add a ninja monster from your deck to your hand. So on normal, ninjutsu art; on special or flip, a ninja monster. This card is not once per turn either, so if you can summon out multiple of them, you're going to be getting multiple adds. For the second 3 of ninja, we have triple of Mitsu, the insect ninja. Now Mitsu is a very interesting card because it is a extender in some sort of way, because if you control a ninja card or a face down defense position monster, you're going to be able to special summon this card from your hand, which is great. But the main reason we play the Mitsu is because when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target a face-down defense position once you control, change it to face-up defense, and if you do change this card to face-down defense, then if the targeted monster that you flipped up was a ninja, you're going to be able to negate the opponent's activated effect, which is sick. And monster negation in the main deck on a 2100 defense stick is very, very cool. The fact that it specials itself out and it's going to be able to then flip up your ninjas. If you flip up a Hanzo, you're going to be able to grab a ninja. So it's very, very cool and synergizes very well with the deck. This is part of the new support that they released in the Darkwing Blast, which was like 10 years after the original ninja cards. Maybe a bit less, but yeah, it synergizes very, very well with the already existing ninja cards. Speaking of a new ninja card, we have triple of Tabari, the Sky Ninja. Again, a fantastic card and one of the newer ninjas. What does he do? Well, you can pitch him from your hand to special summon a ninja monster from your hand in face up or face down defense position, which is pretty nice. But the main reason we're playing this guy is because during your opponent's main or battle phase on a quick effect, you're going to be able to fusion summon a ninja fusion monster using monsters from your hand or field as material. So an insane card. If you are new around here and you didn't know that ninjas have fusion cards, they do, and they are very, very good and definitely worth making, which is why we play triple of Tabari, the Sky Ninja. For the 1 of ninjas, we play 1 of the Gravity Ninja, 1 of the Kagero, and 1 of the Baku, the Beast Ninja. Now, all of these ninjas have very, very good effects. I just like playing 1 of each because I want to be able to grab them if I need them, but not necessarily open them in my hand all the time. So what does the Gravity Ninja do? This card's really, really good. On normal or special or flip, you're going to be able to target up to 2 face-up monsters on the field, including himself, by the way. You can change them to face-down defense position, and if you do, any of your opponent's monsters that will flip down by this card's effect cannot be flipped back up. So it's like a permanent Book of Moon, which is really, really cool. And if a monster on the field is flipped face up while you control the Gravity Ninja, you're going to be able to target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. So an insane card, high level, hence why I only play 1. You don't want to see him in your hand. You're going to be special summoning him out the deck. How do you do that? Well, your fusion monsters allow you to do that very, very easily. And you can easily target himself, put him face down, and that way your opponent cannot target your fusion monsters by battle. So that's a cool little play you can do there. So Kagero, the Cannon Ninja, what does he do? Well, on normal summon, special summon, or flip face up, you can special summon a ninja monster from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position, which is fantastic. Also, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets exactly one ninja card, or exactly one face-down defensive monster you control, while this guy's in the graveyard, quick effect, you're going to be able to special summon this card in face-down defense position, and if you do, return the targeted card to the hand. And that's insane, and the reason I play one is because you can just recur himself constantly from the graveyard, then you can flip him up, you can summon something back, so lots of ways of recycling the Kagero through his own effects, by the way, and reason why I play one. I play one Baku, the Beast Ninja. This is the ninja that you never want to see in your hand. If you see him in your hand, it really sucks. There are ways of getting around it because it's just added to the hand, not from the deck, for example. So you can add it from the graveyard or banish pile, which we can do, and then his effect will trigger, but you never ever really want to see him in your hand, in your opening hand at least. If this card is special summoned or flipped face up, and how does he special summon himself? Well, by adding himself to the hand, he special summons himself, but on special or flip face up, you can target a ninja or ninjutsu art card from your graveyard or face up spell and trap zone and return it to the hand. That's also another way that we can recycle our other one-of ninjas. And for the last ninja, I play the one of my favorite, the Green Ninja. So what does Green Ninja do? Well, if a monster is special summoned to your field, face up, you can target one of them, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, change that monster to face down defense position. So not only does it summon itself, but it's going to be able to flip down your ninjas, which then on flip face up are going to be able to grab their effects again, which is really nice. And then if this card is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you target one monster in the field, change it to face up attack or face down defense position. So amazing card. Only one Green Ninja, but I think the difference between good and great ninja players is how you utilize the Green Ninja. So that is it for the ninja cards. Well, the monsters anyway. Let's now move on to the spells and traps. So starting off, we have one of those powerful cards in the deck. It just has one little line of text that makes it really bad in comparison to what it could have been. So if your opponent controls a card, that's the line. If that wasn't there, if you can just activate it whenever, this card would be insane. I mean, it's already really good, but it could be so much better if it didn't have that little bit of text there. You can set up to one ninja monster and one ninjutsu art spell from your deck, which is amazing, or the graveyard as well. It has to be one of each, but you can set a ninja and the ninjutsu art, one from the grave and one from the deck, which is really nice. If this set card in the field is sent to the graveyard, you target a face-up monster from the field and you book a moon it. So really nice. I just wish it didn't have if your opponent controls a card, because then if they don't control anything, if you're going first, for example, you can't do anything with this card, which is really sad. And it's so good that and it's searchable. I've considered cutting down and playing only two. That's something I might try in the future, but this card is just really good. It just sucks that only your opponent has to control a card, which is annoying. For the other ninja spell cards, we play only two more. We play the Tenshi Kamai, I believe is how you pronounce that, and the Ninjutsu Art Tool Iron Dagger. This is a preference. They do have a different field spell. They have the Secret Village of the Ninjas, I believe. I just prefer the Tenshi Kami because the other field spells are more defensive one, whereas this one's a offensive one. I think the deck already plays very defensive, so having a way to switch to offense, I think, is much more viable, at least for the way I play the deck. So what does it do? This is always treated as a ninjutsu art card, so it is searchable as well. When a ninja monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. That isn't once per turn, by the way, guys, so that's really cool. And how are they going to be inflicting battle damage? Because they're all quite small. Well, your fusion monsters allow them to attack directly. So then you attack directly, send something, attack directly, send something. This becomes a real big problem very quickly. And if they out the card, which is sometimes what your opponent is forced to do, if not, they're going to be losing 2 to 3 bits of their board, you can target any number of ninja monsters in your graveyard and special summon them. So that's absolutely insane. And I really prefer this one over the other field spell. Although you could play the other field spell, there's nothing wrong with that either. What does the Ninjutsu Art Tool Iron Dagger do? Well, the equipped monster gains 500 attack, which is pretty nice. But the most important bit is that it is treated as a ninja monster. And you can equip this to your opponent's monsters. And little quick hint, the other ninjutsu trap cards are going to be able to tribute ninja monsters to gain their effects. So that is why this is also a very useful card, equipping it to your opponent's monsters. If there's an unaffected monster, what you can do is you can equip this to the unaffected monster. and then you can out it. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it works, but in my head that sounded correct. Let me know in the comments if that is incorrect. There are other ways in the extra deck that we're going to be able to get rid of unaffected monsters. I just think that would be a cool way if it works in my head. I hadn't actually thought of it until now. I've just said it out loud. So, make sure that you let Rogue Tier know. You let him know that he did a mistake in the comments if I was wrong. But apart from that cool effect, it has this cool effect that you can banish a ninja monster from your graveyard, target one card in the field, destroy it. So again, more removal. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished ninja monsters and add it to your hand or special summon it in face down defense position. That's also a way that we can grab the Baku back to our hand, even if it's in the banish pile, and we can banish it off the Iron Dagger pop, which is pretty nice. And then we can add it to the hand. It's going to special summon itself, and then it's going to be able to grab this back to a hand. So constant loops. And that's basically what the deck does. Just a lot of looping, a lot of controlling the board state, and then poking for damage. We have the trap cards. We have triple Ninjutsu Art of the Dancing Leaves. I apologize for these two. I literally cannot find my other 2 copies of Dancing Leaves. I've been looking for like an hour before the deck profile. I can only find 1. So yeah, I might need to order myself 2 more Dancing Leaves, but it's fine because it's a common. Probably costs like 2p. But you play 3 of this card because this card is absolutely incredible. And even if you open this card, you can just search a different Ninjutsu Art card with your Hanzo. So it's not even bad to open either. How does this card work? Well, you activate this card by tributing a ninja monster or face down defense position monster on the field. So if you make your opponent's monsters ninja, you contribute them. If your opponent has a face down defense position monster, you contribute that as well. And that's a really, really good removal for the deck because it tributes for cost as well. So absolutely insane. And then when it tributes, you're going to be able to special summon a ninja monster from your deck. So that's only an activation, and you're seeing that it's a continuous. So, you're like, oh, why have they done that? Well, they thought of that. Konami thought of that, and it has a second effect of you can target a ninjutsu art continuous spell trap in the spell trap zone, including itself, return it to the hand, and then you can reset it, and then you can activate it again. So, again, constantly loops itself. Also is able to add back to your hand your ninjutsu art of duplication. You only play 1 because once you use it once, you sort of get all the value out of it, and you never really go for a second. But the option is there. If you have Dancing Leaves and duplication, Dancing Leaves can put duplication back to your hand. You can then set it and then use it again. So it has that cool effect. What does it do? You activate this card by tributing a ninja monster, so isn't as versatile as the Dancing Leaves, but again, we can make our opponent's monsters ninja. And then you can special summon any number of ninja monsters from the deck in face-up attack or face-down defense position with combined levels less than or equal to the level of the tributed monster. So if you tribute off a big monster like the Gravity Ninja, you're going to be able to special summon like 3 ninja monsters out of your deck, which is absolutely crazy and really, really nice. That is it for the ninja cards. I believe there's like 22 ninja cards, so a good amount of them. Let's now move on to the hand traps. Starting off with the triple of the Nibiru. Nibiru is still one hell of a hand trap, guys. If people don't respect it, you can cash them out very, very easily. One main thing about Nibiru and this deck is that Nibiru tributes face-up attack position monsters. Well, just face-up monsters in general. Your ninja monsters, you can put them in face down. You can Nibiru your opponent. Your ninja monsters will stay. And then you can flip them up and continue playing. So Nibiru is like really, really good and in that sense, and is also just a good hand trap in general. Even if you don't manage to have the face down defense position monsters, you can just stop stop your opponent making a board. And the Omni Negates are gone this format. There's no Baron de Fleur, there's no Borrowed Savage. They can Apo you, but you have Imperms as well to hit the Apos. So Nibiru is a very, very good card this format. We have triple Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom is just a mainstay staple in any deck, really. Just incredible how many cards this can hit. Also very good against Branded, which is a bonus. Sort of good into Tenpai if you can hit the continuous spell or the field spell. And just good enough to basically always have in your main deck. Just be careful as it is a fire and they can make a heater and then take your Ash, make a Princess, and they can continue extending through there. So if you Ash them, make sure that it's a really crucial point. Don't just be throwing your Ashes around because they can actually be used against you. And for the last hand trap, we have triple Infinite Impermanence, 9 hand traps, 40 card deck. I usually play more. I like 12, 15 at the most, but 9 is okay in a deck like this because this deck is more focused around control. And even if your opponent sets up like a big board, you can just set up your plays in terms of a way that you're going to be playing for the grind. So you don't really need to be, obviously seeing the hand traps is nice, but if you don't see 2 or 3 hand traps and they still end on like a mediocre board, you can sort of break that over time, which is really nice. So that's it for the hand traps. We play 9. Nib, Ash, and Impam, in case you guys forgot. Now let's move on to the generic stuff. So we have triple pot of prosperity. Extra deck is pretty free in this deck. We have the fusion monsters, we have the link as well. Apart from that, everything else is free game. We can just prosper and it just provides a bunch of consistency. And this deck is now very consistent with the prosps and inclusions like reinforcement of the army, as your Hanzo is a warrior, your Kagero is also a warrior, so lots of consistency, and that's exactly what we need from these types of road decks. We are playing a deck that isn't meta, so we need to be able to see our combos as often as possible. That's something that I believe is a good deck building philosophy. If you're playing the very, very powerful decks, you know, you can afford to not be as consistent in a way, because when you see your combos, you're going to be able to win the game anyways. Whereas with decks like this, if you don't see your combo, you're just dead, because there's nothing really else you can do. It's not like these meta decks where you have loads of options. Yes, ninjas have options, but you really do need to be, you know, seeing your really important cards in order to stand a chance against the meta decks. We play the 1 instant fusion. One of the ninja fusion monsters is level 5, and instant fusion can just bring it out for free. We also play a second target for instant fusion in the extra deck, which I'll explain once we get there. So double versatility. We have the 1 called by the grave. Just say no to the hand traps. I was actually thinking of, this is the 40th card. So this could be anything. I was thinking Monster Reborn, just because you can actually special summon back your Hanzos and get a search. Let me know if you guys think Monster Reborn is actually viable. This can be anything. This can be tactics. This can be thrust. If I wasn't playing the prosperities, I'll be playing triple tactics, 2 triple tactics thrust with 1 triple tactics talent. But we are playing prosperity, so those are more of like a side deck thing. And then for the last, we play triple of the destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. Why do I play this card? Not only does it change as many monsters on the field as possible to face down defense, it also has the cool effect that if either player controls a face-up monster, they must send all face-up monsters they control to the graveyard. Why is this particularly good, you may say? Well, not only does it outlinks, it outs cards that are unaffected by your cards. So things like Tempai under the field spell, as long as you have a legal target that you can Book of Moon, which is usually your ninja monsters, your opponent is going to be forced to send all of their Tempai cards to the graveyard, because they are the ones that are going to be doing the action of sending them to the graveyard. So it gets around the field spell protection, which is absolutely insane, and why ninjas have a pretty good matchup into Tempais, I like to think, because we main deck the destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. If Tempais weren't a thing, this could probably be Book of Moons. In Cash Terror format, this was Book of Moon or Book of Lunar Eclipse, because we need to out those problems. We are adapting to the meta here. This is a meta call. We're playing the triple destructive Daruma Karma Cannons instead. So that's it for the main deck. It is 40 cards. Let's now move on to the extra deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we have 15 cards, of course. I like to play 1 Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Might be a bit of a tech, but there's lots of cards that are unaffected, and that is a big problem if they are huge. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play 1 Underworld Goddess instead. We can get out a lot of bodies if need be. Don't worry about that. And then we can turn them into an Underworld Goddess, which is pretty nice and outs a lot of problem cards. We have the 1 access code Talker. Obviously, we can link climb. We play a link 2 in the Ninja already. So just 2 more materials and we are on our way to a beautiful access code, which is nice. We have the Borrelsword Dragon. We play the Borrelsword Dragon because this card actually comes up a lot for OTKs, since you can equip the dagger to the Borrelsword, give it 500 attack and treat it as a ninja. If you have the Borrelsword and the fusion monster, your Borrelsword monster is actually going to be able to attack directly as well. So you can do his Borrelsword effect, attack something, make it gain. It usually gains like 3k. They take some damage. Then what you're going to do is you're going to attack with your ninja and then flip the ninja to defense. So Borrelsword gains an extra attack and then attack directly. And that's game. So Borrelsword allows a lot of OTKs. It's one of the only decks I think that plays the Borrelsword Dragon still, especially with the access code Talker already in the extra deck. Access code sort of just replaced Borrelsword in general. But this deck, you play the Borrelsword, which is another unique thing about it. And I really do like Borrelsword. I think it's a fantastic card. Obviously not as good as access code anymore, but in certain situations, it's better. We play the 1 Nightmare Unicorn. This is because we play the Cross Sheep, make Cross Sheep fusion summon, going to special something back. Might as well, we have a spare body now, we can make a Nightmare Unicorn, which is the idea behind that. This is also because I don't have that fusion insect fusion. If I had the insect fusion, I'd probably cut out the Nightmare Unicorn instead, and I'd probably play the Cross Sheep as well. We can also play SP Little Knight. If you were in a big event, I would play SP Little Knight, probably over the Nightmare Unicorn, and then I'd cut something else for the insect fusion. But I do try making these road decks budgets. I think the most expensive card in the deck is, I'm not sure actually, I think it might be the Prosperity. I mean, all the ninja cards are pretty cheap. They're all reprinted. So maybe the Prosperities, I think maybe the Zeruma Karma Cannons, I think they have gone up quite a lot because people have caught on that it is very good against Tempais. So yeah, budget list this. So just keep that in mind. This should be, well, it can be an SP. I have an SP. I just didn't put it into this deck profile. So keep that in mind. And yeah, still applies Cross Sheep, bring something back, and then make an SP with the Cross Sheep on whatever to get the Vanish. So Nightmare Unicorn is the budget option. We play double of the Ninja Grandmaster Saizo. This card is really good. What does it do? Well, it takes 2 ninja monsters to make, and then during the main phase, it's going to be able to set a ninjutsu art spell trap directly from the deck, which is chef's kiss. That's absolutely insane. And then while this card points to a monster, this card cannot be targeted for an attack. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. So 2k body isn't the biggest, but if it is pointing to something, it's not going to be able to be targeted by card effects or for attacks, which is pretty nice, to be honest with you. We have the Maizen, the Battle Ninja. I play 3 of this card. I think it's pretty damn crucial. And it takes 2 ninja monsters with different types. They're pretty much all different types, so that's not much of an issue. And it must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from the extra deck by tributing the above cards you control. 2 ninja monsters, different types, so don't need to play poly. If you don't have access to Tabari, you can still make it by just tributing 2 ninja monsters from the field instead. And your ninja monsters can attack directly. That's just his passive effect. And then while you control a face down defense position monster, your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. And the main effect that we make it for is when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, special summon a ninja monster from your deck in face up or face down defense position. So this is how you're going to be able to just get a lot of bodies onto the field. This is during their turn, during your turn, doesn't matter. You're going to special summon a ninja directly from the deck, and you're going to be able to start accumulating advantage and controlling the board state that way. We also have triple of the Armor Ninja. I don't know how to say. I think his name is Yagura Maru. In the comments, let me know if I pronounced that wrong. I just call him the Armed Ninja. What does he do? Well, 2 ninja monsters, different types, so again, it's fine. Again, has the same summoning requirements as the other ninja, so you contribute 2 cards on the field or fusion summon him using Tabari. If this card is special summoned or flip face up, you're going to be able to banish 1 other ninja monster or ninjutsu art card from your hand, graveyard, face up field, target 1 card on the field, and banish it. So again, lots of removal, lots of ways of controlling the board. Yes, their attacks aren't big, but remember, they can attack directly. And when you can attack directly, you can accumulate 8k very, very quickly. The other instant fusion target I play is the Thousand Eyes Restrict. Maybe this is the card that you cut if you are going to be adding the fusion insect monster. Probably this. It's come up a few times, and I think it's been kind of cool when it has. So, and it's a very old card, and it's cool to play. And for the last card, I apologize, I don't actually have it. It is the Blade Armor Ninja. It just takes 2 level 4 monsters. So, and what does it do? Well, it's a ninja card, which is pretty cool, but you can detach, target 1 card on the field, and it can attack twice. It allows for cool OTKs, and it's pretty crucial. I just don't have one in person, so when I test the deck online, this isn't a problem I face. But then when I try and give you guys the real deck profiles, I realize I don't have a Blade Armor Ninja, but I will definitely be picking one up soon, so I can actually play the deck in real life and update the deck and bring you guys more content around ninjas. So that is the end of this deck profile. Let me know, what do you think about ninjas? Do you think they have enough this format to sort of ninja their way through the meta? Or do you still think they're missing cards? Or do you think this build needs to be adjusted in order to face the meta? I'm very curious. Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next video.
It's time! Let's go!